And we're speaking about positive and empowering habits, daily rituals and routines. You who are with me, who watches my stories and so on, you know that I'm a massive advocate for magical morning rituals. Is how I start my day. And when I started this journey with magical mornings a couple of years ago, it was so transformational. It has completely transformed my life because how we start our day is, I believe, how we live our day.
Welcome to The Rise Show, a podcast for highly driven and spiritual women with big ideas, dreams, and visions. Audacious women just like you, who are committed to their evolution and obsessed about all things personal growth, spirituality, manifestation, and feminine embodiment. I'm your host, Nathalie Banaszak, feminine success and branding coach, and I'm here to support you on your journey and path of expansion. I know you're ready for so much more. Permission granted to go for greatness, your wildest desires, and the most radiant and full expression of the brand called you. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Let's talk about the power of habit and daily routines. In the feminine context, we are switching vocabulary to explore the difference in vibration and meaning. What happens within you when I'm switching the word discipline to blissipline. So it's a perfect example to explore conscious language and how we use different words and what meaning we give to them, depending on the context that we're using it for. So let's start with motivation. What's the core of motivation? Why are you doing what you're doing? We need to constantly remind ourselves why we are doing whatever we are doing, specifically when things get challenging, and when we are creating a new habit, when we perhaps want to break out from an old pattern that doesn't support our vision anymore, and so on and so on. So this is very important, and I want to highlight this. You remember, you are not punishing yourself when you're going for something new that might not always feel exciting for you. You are doing something for you that you decided that will reward you massively, that's aligned with your vision. Now, this is the meaning of the word blissipline. So I want to unpack it with you. Think about it. Blissipline. It's a combination of bliss and discipline. It's what naturally happens when you dedicate yourself to achieving a goal while enjoying the process. It's all the things you do on a regular basis. Your discipline and practice that basically increases your state of bliss. Compare then to a more masculine only, I'll do it because I said I'll do it no matter what kind of thing, depending on the context. And I can just share from my own previous experience on how rigid I used to be in, for example, my exercise routines, or like I've done the full thing and everything. So I know how to be disciplined. And I also know that it goes for you who are listening, being an ambitious, driven woman. Most often, we don't really have problem with the discipline. It's just about creating, or maybe we do, but it's about creating the right vibration for what we want it to mean to us. So, okay, let's perhaps take one example. If you're trying to kind of talk yourself out of something that you once decided that you were going to do, when we say we're going to start something, this is what happens every single January when people make their New Year's resolution. And it's like something feels freaking fantastic on New Year's Eve. And then, 1 week after, I kind of overpromised or whatever. What about trusting yourself and to stick with your word, to be the woman who do what you said that you would do, because it's freaking important. So, of course, we're allowing flexibility into life. But other than that, it's about owning that, I am doing this because I'm all for experiencing emotional states of bliss. So my daily habits, routines, rituals, they are set up for me, for my vision. Therefore, I am showing up for them. You notice the difference compared to, cannot be bothered, I have to do this thing, hated, whatever. So whatever bliss means to you, most often we're linking it with feelings such as love, joy, freedom, purpose, health, aliveness, radiance, vibrancy, pleasure, connection, wealth, peace. I could keep on going. You get to, you know what I mean. So if these emotional states, that's our vision, because, you know, a vision, when we create a mental picture about the movie for our mission, or, you know, we make a vision board or something, all those images, like the movie, it's this representation of the emotional states we want to experience. And then we create this identity of the woman who already is there. And then we simply live it backwards. We build habits and rituals and routines that support the creation and evolution of #her. That's what we're really doing here. You know, it's about being the woman you most want to be. Not then, no. You are simply being her today. And it's about being committed to live as the most radiant, amazing version of you. Not that whoever you're being today is not quote unquote good enough. Not at all. Just because you choose the habits, the routines that makes you feel freaking amazing. And this does not mean that, you know, we don't have low days, that we don't experience even, I'm not going to say shit days, but like shit minutes. You know, low vibe. Oh, you know, when we're feeling off, you know, maybe we're in the middle of a period or something, you know, life happens and that's okay. It's not about jumping upside down like 24/7. It's about knowing what makes you feel good and what makes you feel not good. So a simple definition of habits, I took this from Google, I think. I have it in front of me. So it's a subtle or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. So you know how it is when you habituated something you do, you don't even have to think about it. It's a habit. What a bliss to make a positive habit a habit in your life. The routine is a sequence of actions regularly followed. We could say that it's kind of like a fixed program. And it's almost, I think we can, you know, how about viewing it as a procedure that we are following for a specific reason. So I notice I on purpose started to use the word ritual more often. And I see this being more impactful for both me and when I'm working with women, because routine and disciplines, the same thing as switching from discipline to blissipline, but you play with it, no right or wrong. The main difference between a routine and ritual is basically just the level of intention and meaning that we attach to the actions. I think basically could say, you know, let's say that routines are something that's more repetitive. Maybe sometimes even, you know, something we perform on autopilot. What's the word in English? While rituals are actions that are, you know, infused with symbolic meaning, purpose, and a sense of mindfulness that is something that means something to us. Either way, you choose a language that resonates with you. What we're really talking about here is the compound effect. And this is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart, and intentional choices. Empowered choices. So let's get honest here. What are the things you do on a daily basis that support your vision? Now, this can be everything and anything. We're speaking about your vibration here. You know, are you doing things and are you being the vibration of her that you know is aligned with where you most want to go? And on the flip side, what are the things you do on a daily basis that contradict your vision? Sometimes, very often, it's not just about, oh my God, I need to do more. Most often, I can sit with this question and ask you, what are the things you need to stop doing? And actually just stopping doing some things that can mess up everything will massively, tremendously reward you in other areas. And the only thing you really need to do is to stop doing something. So that's one way of looking at it. And, you know, there's this quote, John C. Maxwell, leadership legend, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do every day. The secret to success is found in your daily routine." And then you can switch it to ritual if that feels more aligned. And I think he is the same person who mentioned it in the context of uphill habits and downhill habits. And I think you know where I'm going with this. But let's just dive right into this and be very honest. And let me share 5 common dream-killing habits that simply sabotage your success. And here's an invitation then also to wind in your concept of habit and connect it with patterns, could also be mental addictions. Everything is a variation of the same thing. So if you have a habit of procrastination, I'm just waiting for the right timing. 2, perfectionism. I just need to fix this before I can. Or 3, comparing yourself. I'll never get to where she is anyway. Not good enough. 4, the hiding habits. I don't like selling social media or to promote myself. It's just not my style. Or dimming your light in a sense. And then we have the whole playing small. Talking yourself out of it. I don't really need that anyway. Like, really, I actually encourage you to stop, pause, and listen to what I just said again. 5 dream-killing habits. And notice that habits is not just about going to the gym and, eating the right foods and, doing your gratitude before you go to bed or whatever it might be. Absolutely, all of that. But it's also about the mental patterns that you have on repeat and to be willing to transform them. So to get radically honest, what are the habits that sabotages your success? So to really achieve your uphill habits and to avoid the downhill habits, it's super important to cultivate habits that support your highest self and potential. And what I'm talking about is simply behaviors that move you towards your goals, dreams, and visions, and not that pulls you out of them. So it's all about our daily choices and actions. And you notice how I always bounce back to, hey, we have responsibility. Am I taking responsibility for my energy, for my actions, for how I react or act? And depending also where we're coming from, where we're at, our circumstances, this might look different, but, put it in perspective. We can compare ourselves. And if you're listening to this podcast, I guess it's pretty fair to say that we're already extremely blessed and privileged living as free women, as free as we are. So the privilege of a lifetime to have a choice, just go back, 100 years ago in time, women have not always had the level of freedom that we have. And yes, of course, there is much work that needs to be done. But just to make it very simply here, just dwell in that. What a freaking fantastic privilege of a lifetime to be able to say, I have a choice. So welcome to embodied leadership. It's about recognizing that every single action that you take or don't take is linked to your habits and behaviors. And if we take this further, at the bottom core of your actions, you will find your belief systems. And this can be beliefs that you are aware of. And then there are the beliefs that lives in your subconscious, that runs the show until you decide to rewrite your beliefs. So our habits take cues from our thoughts, you could say. And so we can think about it like this. We can only act according to our beliefs. So if you really want to change how you act, you must change how you think. So I'm asking you, where are you going? So it's your belief systems and the thoughts you think that dictate this. You need to commit to your highest and most radiant self. That's what it takes, you using your willpower and show up for your vision. So again, I'm reminding you, no one is pushing you to do anything that you do not consciously choose. Sometimes we go into victimhood. It's not fair, or why have this not happened yet? And that's okay. But don't stay there. It's not an empowering place to be. Forgetting that we hold the power to change things around at any given moment. So it's a privilege of a lifetime for us as women in the part of the world where we have this freedom. So what are you doing with your choices? And how can you take back your power over and over and over again? This is again about becoming conscious creator of your own reality. And the most powerful way there is to shift our habits, it is identity shifting habits. This is how to actually stay true to your vision. And this is how you can step into your vision today. Most often we lose ourselves. The normal way of thinking is like, oh, I will be happy when I have that thing. Radical, feminine, embodied leadership and intentional identity creation is about being, having, doing. Being, doing, having. This is the formula. This is embodied leadership. The other is just a procrastination, postponing dream scenario. Think about it like this. You think about your most desired outcome, your vision, what you want, and trusting the process while you adopt the identity of the woman who already lives that reality. So if you don't like the results you're currently having in some area of your life, you are the one that needs to step up the game and change them. It's basically about becoming or deciding, I would say, that you've had enough. If it's something that you do not longer want to hold in your body and being, trusting the process, changing your identity. And when I say changing your identity, if you feel some kind of, resistance toward this, let me share you a story. Many years ago, for you who are new here, depending on, how long you've been with me, you know that I do a combination of, my work is a blend of everything that I've learned on my own journey. And I've basically just have created my own methodology for transformational change, specifically for women. And one teacher that's been massively inspirational and important for me is Joe Dispenza. I'm sure you know about his work. And he's written a couple of fantastic books. I highly recommend them. And many, many years ago, when I got into his work, it was in the beginning, I got his book recommended from a friend. And what is the name? It's about breaking the habit of being yourself or something like that. I can't remember right now. Anyways, I remember that I was like so resistant towards that title that I didn't even want to read it in the beginning because I didn't get it back then. I was like, what do you mean? All I want is to be myself. Yes, such a great point. It's about breaking the freaking habit of being your old self. What he means, what the title implements is exactly what I'm talking about here. It's about consciously deciding to break free from the old rewired habits that lives within your nervous system in the ways you show up to consciously become someone else. And we go back to you are the creator of your own reality. So yeah, here was some Dispenza inspiration to the whole context. But I mean, regardless of, what books you are reading, who you're studying, you're here with me, we're all basically talking about the same things. It's just a different methodologies and processes in order to actually manifest it. And it's also about how we want to go ahead and how we want to enjoy the journey. So allow your intention to replace your old belief systems and the mental identity that you've been attaching yourself to. Rewrite your story and become the woman you want to be. That's it. You need to commit to greatness. And remember who said that. There's this quote, how you do anything is how you do everything. Remember that. This is mastery. This is excellence. This is leadership. So how you do anything is how you do everything. This is also about, remembering we speak about authentic personal branding here as a embodied leadership style. It's not just something, it has to live as us 24/7. And again, I'm repeating myself. Remember, repetition is the key to mastery. You become the woman you need to be to do what you most want to do. Decide who you want to be and go be her. Step by step, starting today. Permission granted. So no, you do not need to wait until you get there. That's why I always say when I do my visionary sessions, whether it's a one-to-one or, a program, we step into your vision today and experience how transformational that can be. And also, going back to what I said in the beginning, don't let yourself down. And by that, I mean you are being loving and kind and patient with yourself, cultivating deeper levels of loving kindness. What I mean here when I say don't let yourself down, don't postpone what you once said that you want. If it is about, for example, adopting a new habit that you once decided that you wanted to do because you knew back then when you made that empowered decision that is for the highest good of you and your higher truth and your grandest vision. So write this down. I am the kind of woman who is able to ... And then, make it personal and tie your goals or new habits that you want to cultivate to it. So yes, I always love to wrap up sessions with some reflection questions. I've already been giving you a couple of questions. I always do that during the episode. But for now, let me just summarize what we already talked about. So, number 1, what are the behaviors and habits that sabotages your success? 2, where are you going and what kind of woman do you want to and choose to be today? 3, what uphill habits can you implement that will support your vision? So when we're speaking about positive and empowering habits, daily rituals and routines, you who are with me, who watches my stories and so on, you know that I'm a massive advocate for magical morning rituals. Is how I start my day. And when I started this journey with magical mornings a couple of years ago, it was so transformational. It has completely transformed my life because how we start our day is, I believe, how we live our day. And it's transforming not only for me, for millions of people worldwide, for the women that I work with, for us, for us here together. So just a PS, I'm also updating an amazing resource for you to support you on your journey to learning really how to cultivate more feminine habits. And then, setting up yourself for success the feminine way is so much about really, really establishing a non-negotiable, beautiful, magical morning ritual. So this is coming, and depending on when you're watching this, it might already be out. So yeah, check the links always, and you will not miss out on anything. I will dedicate, another episode to dive more into this. So it's all coming. Until then, if you have not already, if this resonates with you, download my free 10-step guide to build the most authentic and magnetic version of the brand called You. So this is an amazing free resource for you to tap into your vision so you can get clear on what daily actions you need to take that are aligned with the most authentic expression of you that will also support your journey of becoming the woman of your dreams. So this is available for you. You can download it and get instant access, link in the show notes. And yeah, if you're already not a subscriber to my Rise emails, you will naturally and automatically become a member of my community as well. So remember, you are doing this for you. It's a step-by-step process. So as always, I want to hear your thoughts about this. And we will just dive deeper into all of this. So for now, remember, grab your guide, my workbook, and the link is in the show notes. And have a beautiful day. And thank you for being here with me and with yourself.
If you loved this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you get updates anytime I post a new episode. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and share this with a sister you know needs to hear this message and leave a review. It would mean so much, as I love to envision a world with more feminine, embodied leaders. If you're looking to further grow, evolve, and expand your life and business, connect with me on Instagram and sign up for my Rise newsletter. Get ready to receive special announcements, inspiration, high vibe self-empowerment, tips, hacks, and tools on how to become the woman you most want to be right into your inbox. Link in the show notes. Until next time, have a gorgeous week.